Happy Father's Day and good afternoon as we welcome you into the Pure Sports Center here in San Bernardino, California for our second match on our final day of our fourth NVA weekend of the 2022 season. It is the unbeaten New Jersey Freedom, the first team in NVA history to go 7-0 to start a season as they take on a Colorado Kraken squad that must be tired after last night playing a five-setter that literally went the distance, 15-13 against the Inland Empire Matadors. What are you expecting out of Colorado today? Can they bounce back? Can they give New Jersey a challenge, or are the Freedom moving to 8-0?
Well, I certainly think that the Kraken can put up a fight here against Team Freedom. However, their fitness is definitely going to get tested. Their turnaround time, they finished that match last night at about 8:15 p.m. local time. It is currently a few minutes before noon local time, so that's a very fast turnaround for the Colorado Kraken. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Team Freedom played on Friday, so they had a day off yesterday. They watched that match, so they scouted their opponents in deep detail, as Coach Edra likes to do. So it'll be should be a very entertaining match, but I still think Freedom, even with their slimmed-down roster that they have on this weekend's event, should have the talent to take this one.
They were watching the match back at their hotel. Even we shared a photo on the air of the entire crew that's here this weekend, bunched into one hotel room. I don't know how they all fit, but we're watching the match and enjoyed our commentary quite a bit, which we
That's
appreciate.
nice to hear.
You know, at least somebody did. But the Freedom and the Kraken are both playoff contenders. Obviously, New Jersey's in at 7-0. We know that. The
Right.
Colorado Kraken, 2-5 in a year. Looking at the updated numbers, they're third place in the American Central. But right now, there's a lot of teams right there in that plot for that final playoff spot. You know, even if they lose today, they're going to be playing some meaningful volleyball going into the last weekend of the season on July 9th and 10th. They'll take on the Utah Stingers and the Dallas Tornadoes. So this does not fall into the must-win category, but they certainly want to show up today and show that they're still going to put in that fight. They have gone three times this year and have fallen all three times matches, haven't been able to finish matches.
Well, they have the fight for sure, and it would be nice for them to get this victory today to kind of create some more momentum, you know, going into those final two matches that you spoke about, you know, coming up in Event 5. But they're going to have their hands full here today with Team Freedom.
Both teams are dealing with injuries. John Cunningham, he is the Libero for New Jersey, and they don't have a backup for him right now. He is going to play until he cannot play at this point. And, well, should that happen, they're just going to have to play 6 around with both middles playing defense.
Yeah.
Fortunately, though, if any set of middles that can play defense in the league, it's certainly these two with Tom Burrell and, of course, Matt Buffalo.
Yeah, so John Cunningham kind of taking on a knee injury in that match on Friday, and he is available and dressed, ready to go. I saw him getting some time with the trainer before this match. No official diagnosis yet, but he seems to be okay. He might be a little slow on defense, but we'll see what he does for his team.
Meanwhile, Alvaro Hidalgo, he has injuries as well. We'll talk about that in a moment, but first, standing by courtside, it is the third member of our crew, Noah Chass, with the unbeaten head coach of the New Jersey Freedom. It's Carlo Edra.
And, Coach, your team was watching this Kraken match last night, and you did your scouting report. What did you find from that match?
I guess we can kind of say it a little bit. Well, we found out what spots we're going to hit, you know, anytime we're out of system. We kind of figured out how we're going to set up our blocking scheme. One of those, you'll see how it plays out, and you'll kind of see how what we did with the information we learned last night.
I'm excited to watch that. And let's talk about Cunningham's knee. Obviously, he might be a little slower out there. What are you expecting from him?
Johnny is, he's going to tough it out. That's just the kind of guy he is. If he was actually hurt, he would never admit he was. So we're just going to have to trust him on this one, and Johnny will get the job done.
This Kraken team's feisty. How do you combat that?
I think we're going to try to get them out of system as much as we can. Pretty much, you know, it's hard to get any offense going if we're serving tough at you, and that's what we're gonna try to do, is keep them off balance.
Best of luck, Coach. Look forward to seeing that game plan play out.
Thank you.
Matt and Ira, send it back to you.
Thanks, Noah, and thanks to Coach Carlo Edra. It's Father's Day, and you know, Carlo is just one of many men associated with the league who are dads, and you know, everybody away from their families this weekend to be able to coach or play or broadcast professional volleyball here in the National Volleyball Association, and we thank you for joining us here today. As we talked about, for Colorado, Alvaro Hidalgo, who's been their top offensive weapon and their most efficient offensive weapon, well, he's going to play, but he could not finish the match yesterday. He took off from behind the 10-foot line on a big attempt and landed gingerly, rolled his ankle. Talking to Coach Jonathan Dacklison, he was trying to massage it out the best he could last night.
Yep.
Obviously iced it down as much as he could to try to get some blood flow going in that ankle. And it's not 100%, but 85% Alvaro Hidalgo is better than most.
Yeah, definitely the case. Everyone dealing with some injuries through the weekend for sure. However, it is a bit unfortunate that Hidalgo tweaked that ankle, but we'll see how he goes today. And again, an 85% Hidalgo is definitely needed for his side this morning.
Taking a look at the starting lineup for Colorado, they are 2-5. They've lost 3 in a row, third place in the American Central Division. Rowdy Martin, number 2, getting the start at setter. On the outside will be Alvaro Hidalgo, number 19. The other outside, at least to start the match today, will be number 17, Christian Encarnacion. Rest of the lineup will include in the middles, number 24, Kyle Schwetz. Rahul Patel is going to get the start. I believe he'll probably be on the right side. He'll wear, actually, I take that back. He will be off to start. It'll be Liam Jenkinson as on the right side. And J.J. Rosa will be, of course, the reliable libero wearing number 23, the third middle. Or correction, the last player in the court, the second middle, is number 11, Dylan Haskell, who had a nice effort yesterday. They are without Matt Gaynor today, as he has coaching responsibilities at the AAU championships that are being held in Anaheim not too far. We'll tell you more about some of what he's doing when we have some time throughout this match. And the first point goes over to New Jersey. Matt Elias, the starting setter, he wears number 13. John Cunningham, number 15 in blue. He will tough it out at libero today. The outsides for New Jersey today will be Jacob Milnazik, number 8, and Danny Venegas, the former Colombian national team member who just took one to the side of the head. That ball and life comes at you fast.
Got to be ready for anything here.
Rest of the lineup, Joe Norman, who just retrieved that ball, number 16, their top offensive weapon. He's on the right side, and of course, in the middles, Tom Burrell, who wears number 18, and Matt Buffum, number 2, for New Jersey, coached by Carlo Edra.
And look at that, Hidalgo with a great service ace on his first serve of the match.
And a 2-1 lead early here for the Kraken. Hidalgo, it looks like that ankle's feeling pretty good, or maybe he's got some of that icy spray that you put on the magic spray you put on your knees and joints to make you feel like, pretend you're okay.
I think he does. I think he has that in his little bag of tricks someplace there, and got the quick spray down.
They go to Encarnacion, and he gets shut down. Buffum with the stuff'em. Alongside Joe Norman.
Picking up right where he left off yesterday is Buffum Stuff'em.
Cunningham gets a piece of it, then gets the heck out of Dodge and sent over by Venegas. They'll go right side here to Jenkinson. Dug up by Elias. And Milnazik on the run. Oh, what a spot. And his former high school teammate, Noah Chess, our sideline reporter, approves. And probably can still do it himself. Maybe, I don't know. And here is Milnazik to serve. Free ball opportunity. They choose not to swing because Joe Norman can and does.
Now, Joe Norman, so much range and height. The 6'10" opposite hitter for Team Freedom really should be taking over this match at his first point here in set number 1, but look for him to carry a big offensive load for his side.
Here's Milnazik again. New Jersey now a 5-2 advantage. And Venegas into the net, so side out goes to Colorado. And the Kraken lost in 5 yesterday. What was interesting about the 5th set is that the Inland Empire Matadors led 14-10. You think it's over at that point. Well, Kraken stayed with them, shaved off 3, as that is put down, free ball, and Encarnacion takes it down. But they were able to muster 3 points in a row to shave off 3 match points, including a sloppy play where the ball went through the setter's hands after it was moisturized a little bit off the serve reception. But finally, at the end, the Matadors did finally close the door, 15-13.
Yeah.
It's a tall hill to come back from that far of a deficit, as Venegas misses the line. Of course, New Jersey is missing some key players this weekend. Ian Kapp, one of their offensive leaders on the season. No Matt Seifert in the middle. Ryan Kenny's not here. Paul Wolanczyk's not here. Ryan Alou, who's seen a lot of his time as their starting middle's not here. Dr. Doug Zema's not here. Tim Ferriter's not here. So this is a mixture of first and second team guys who, I mean, they've played together for a long time. They know how to play together. Doesn't matter who's on the court. And Venegas, however, can't connect there. Great effort by Cunningham.
Yep, great effort indeed by the Libero to chase down that Trickler serve.
Venegas off the high hands, and that will fall in for the kill. So here's Matt Buffum to serve. That's a little too tight by Rowdy Martin. I don't know if that's where I would have gone with that ball. The set was kind of a byproduct of a errant pass, but in that situation, Matt, just go right side and live to see another day.
Set up the hitter and take advantage of the matchups.
I don't understand why you try to make something out of nothing sometimes. And free ball city, Tom Burrell feasts. That will clip the floor. It's an ace for New Jersey as they push the lead to 2. And an ace for Buffum. And that will not clear the tape. And the Freedom are on a bit of a run now at 10-7. We'll see if they can continue to build on this. One more for Buffum. Pass by Jenkinson, and this will end the run as Haskell comes through.
Well, Haskell had a nice match last night. He's coming right back too here in set number 1, getting some action through the middle.
So here's Liam Jenkinson from Darlington, England. Go to Tom Burrell, and he gets shut down. Haskell and Encarnacion, the double block for Colorado.
Now, really nice block by Colorado. Pretty much double committing on Burrell's quick attack that time when Joe Norman's overhead left him all alone by himself, and Elias didn't pick up on it.
Burrell again, that's called retribution. Burrell may be undersized compared to some middles in the league at 6'3", but smart high IQ player, former star at Stevens Institute of Technology, one of the top Division III programs, former national champions. Tom played on their championship team about 5 years ago. And that clips the court. Side out, Colorado. Good pass by Mlazic. And Venegas swinging away. And the steady hands of Matt Prosser saved the table from destruction.
Just another great touch by Prosser.
The only savior here at the table.
Glad I could help.
Martin's going to push it outside. Down the line, that's wide. No touch.
Nice disciplined defense right there by Team Freedom, specifically Joe Norman. Had his foot on the line knowing that anything to his right side is going to be out of bounds, putting himself right in the right spot that time.
Yeah, this is great technique there, and a lot of nuances to the game that fans at home just don't appreciate unless you're live and able to see it live, because there's just so much that you can see, even with the 6 cameras we have. And the positioning, where you put your hands, when you pull your hands back, what gamesmanship is involved there.
Absolutely. Ira, great point.
That Stevens team that we were talking about, by the way, was 2015. Or even 7 years. That is blocked back by Mlazic. And that's to be slugged through by Hidalgo. And Rowdy Martin will serve at 14-12. Norman swinging away. That's going to come over on 1. Elias gives it to Buffum. Dug up by Rowdy and dumped over here. Another chance for New Jersey. Little too tight. And what a save there by Jake to pop it up and live to see another play. Mlazic chased down by Encarnacion and left short. Alvaro Hidalgo went a full weekend earlier this season without committing an attack error. But now he's trying to attack on a bum ankle. Not an easy task.
Not easy to do at all, especially against the block and defense of Team Freedom.
As Elias will serve away. That is blocked back. And Martin tried to save it in one hand, but a misconnection there with Kyle Schwetz, and that will send us to our technical timeout. Game number 1, unbeaten New Jersey in front, 16-12. More to come here from San Bernardino. I'm back here courtside in San Bernardino, California, the Pure Sports Center, the site of the National Volleyball Association for the 2022 season, as we play our 46th match of the regular season. And Matt Elias will serve. And after the timeout, that is a put away for Hidalgo as the Kraken see if they have a run in them here in game number 1.
That's a big swing right there from the right side of Hidalgo in that rotation. Really taking care of that one and driving it cross court for the winner.
Norman swinging away. Rosa got the touch on it. This will be freed over. And New Jersey run the middle here. They go to buff them for destruction. And a free ball sometimes will lead to that when you have a team that can run their middles and a setter that knows how to efficiently use them. And that is certainly what Matt Elias is capable of doing. Here's Jacob Monazic. Off the net, Cunningham tried to get there, couldn't. Looks pretty healthy to me, though.
Yeah, he seems to be doing just fine. However, they got to take care of that ball. It was a pretty decent deflection off of Joe Norman's block that just had a lot of spin on it and came off Milnazic's arms just the wrong direction.
Now, what's interesting about the lineup on the floor for New Jersey, with the exception of Dan Venegas, who, of course, played on the Colombian national team. He's a little older, but has come back to continue his career. The rest of this lineup is mostly former small college collegiate players who've played at a championship level in Division III. Some have actually won national titles, including Joe Norman at SUNY New Paltz, and of course Thomas Burrell and Tim Farrader, who's not here today. They were both part of that 2015 national championship team that I discussed earlier at Stevens. Burrell was a freshman that year. Tim Farrader is a junior back in 2015. Norman since has grown about 20 inches and now eats he's always been this tall, but he eats, it was funny, we were talking before the match, he eats about 5,000 or so calories a day, and he actually wears, you'll see on his arm, he wears a band that's actually calculating his calorie burning output during a day, and he burned yesterday in the victory over the Blaze close to 5,000 calories, he said. Wow. I mean, he is active out there, and he's a big man at 6'9", 6'10". Big men burn a lot of calories. They need fuel.
Yeah, they certainly do. And you got to be the right kind of fuel as well, especially when you're playing 2-hour, 2.5-hour long matches, whatever the athletic endeavor may be.
I mean, you did it your whole life, and at 43 years old, are still in pretty impeccable shape. As Venegas puts that one away. You don't have the typical Father's Day dad bod that I'm maybe not totally cultivating, but I'm working on remaining a large and not an extra large. Here is Joe Norman. Big time swing there. And Martin trying to go over on 2, got the net. That pushes the lead to 20-16 New Jersey. Freedom on the year. Victories over the Sasquatch 3-0. The Stunners, who were undermanned at that time, 3-1. Beat the Untouchables fairly easily in 3. The Tornadoes in 3. Took the Tyrants to 5 and handed them their first loss of the season. But the 5th set wasn't even a conversation. 15-8 New Jersey won.
Yeah.
Beat the Stingers fairly easily on Memorial Day weekend. In 3 sets, none of them were truly competitive. And yesterday beat the Blaze in 4, but the 3 sets that they won, 17, 18, 19. So New Jersey's done a good job all year, Matt, of taking care of business. And, when the year started, probably not a team we would have said, yes, definitely is going to be a championship contender. Well, they are now.
Yeah, they certainly are. When they're at full strength, they're very dangerous. They have a lot of weapons all over the court. And even when they don't have their full squad, they're still very good.
Obviously, right now they have no subs, so they cannot obviously suffer any more injuries, as Venegas able to put that one through for a kill. Dan Venegas had 11 kills yesterday in the win of the Blaze. And Hidalgo, that's on the court. And I think they're going to challenge this because Joe Norman, who you pointed out earlier, often will straddle the line with his right foot. Saw that one go past his foot. He says, no, no. Shook his hand like Dikembe Mutombo. They will challenge in or out. We will be able to show that here on the broadcast as we now have our production crew and working with Lloyd, who oversees our video, has found a way to patch it in. So I'm seeing the replay now come up on the monitor. Well, that looks in from here. I
think they were looking for a touch off the antenna, perhaps, as the ball traveled.
That could have been the
Not
only
so
thing,
much the line itself, but the antenna.
That's a good call by you, Matt. That would have obviously made that ball out. I did not see the antenna move based on the initial play, but I also wasn't looking for that as closely as I normally would have. Noah Chast is spying on the play. He'll have some input for us soon as our intrepid sideline. New and improved version of Aaron Andrews. Yeah, just a new version. I don't know if he's improved.
I'd say just different, my own entity. Aaron's fantastic.
She is fantastic.
I am Noah Chast.
I like green eggs and ham. That's live short. So that ultimately ends up being a challenge loss for New Jersey, but almost an extended time out there, freezing Colorado. That was a poor serve. And it is 22-19. And Tom Burrell was so excited. He served anyway, even though the whistle hadn't blown. Encarnacion, by the way, has carried most of the heavy lifting so far for Colorado. He's got a match-high 6 kills in the early going. That is blocked back as Martin tried to tangle with Jacob Milnazik and lost.
Milnazik with a great heads-up play, seeing Rowdy going for the attack on 2 and getting his hands over for that block.
And that's clearly a team that did their homework and watched last night's game.
They know that Rowdy likes to attack on 2. He's a very aggressive, offensive-minded setter. And that time bonding in the hotel watching us call the match, they learned a thing or two. Jenkinson able to slot it past the block. Thank those of you watching this one around the country as New Jersey leading 23-20, trying to take this first set. Happy Father's Day to everyone watching out there. They go to Buffum, and this time loses the battle. Big solo block by Schwetz for Colorado. Kyle Schwetz, 6'4", out of Carroll Stream, Illinois. Oh, and skying for it. Does Matt Elias try to set it with one hand, or does he pull off his own version of Rowdy Martin and Very well disguised.
Yeah, it was very well disguised. Matt Elias had to go all the way up for that one, as it's now set point for Team Freedom.
So Freedom's got 3 set points to work with. Martin back set, and that will stave off 1 as we see the kill from Hidalgo. He will serve now 24-22. And that is too long as New Jersey wins game number 1, 25-22, and the unbeaten Freedom lead 1-0. We'll change sides and come back for game number 2 live here from the Pierce Sports Center. Much more. Stay with us. Back here courtside at the Pierce Sports Center, San Bernardino. Ira Thor alongside Matt Prosser and Noah Chest on the sideline, bringing us all the juicy tidbits that you've been itching for. Game number 2, New Jersey won the first one by 3. Elias serving first. That is blocked down by Kyle Schwetz. Way to be there. And The first point over to Colorado. Joe Norman swinging away and off of the upper torso of Hidalgo. That will not feel good later. He's going to have some healing to do when this weekend is over between his ankle and that wound in his chest right there as the side out goes to Jacob Monazic. Here's Raul Patel. Did not play in game number 1. Gets involved here and misses wide. Patel yesterday in the match against the Inland Empire Matadors had to be more involved because of the injury to Hidalgo. Nacion lays out for that one. Tipped deep by Patel. There's Joe Norman. Oh, reach out and stuff someone. Patel and Schwetz with the shutdown.
Really nice block move by both of the Kraken blockers that time, especially able to get it on Joe Norman, like you said. 6'10" opposite hitter, getting blocked by 6'4" and 6'5".
Well, Patel's only 5'11", so talk about truly undersized. Yeah, Schwetz was there, but Patel can jump. He's got some leaping abilities. That is too long. And an early lead, 3-2 for the Kraken. In Colorado, for those who have not been following the league all year, one of the 2 expansion teams in 2022 alongside the Seattle Sasquatch, who will play our next match at 3 p.m. against the 6-1 Texas Tyrants. Sasquatch have struggled. Martin, nice dive there to pancake it, but Schwetz backed into the net.
Got to apply the effort, but unfortunate net violation there from the middle blocker.
Schwetz certainly has done a good job filling in for Matt Gaynor. And as his number's called, swings there, but that's dug up by New Jersey, sent back over. From the back row, Hidalgo. And Matt Buffum avoids the haircut and the ball.
Good matrix moves back there by Matt Buffum, diving out of the way.
So here is Keanu Buffum to serve. Encarnacion misfires.
That was a very nice set by Rowdy Gaines that time, but Encarnacion just missing the hands. The ball going out of bounds.
They go to Patel. Oh, return to Rejection City. Venegas and Tom Burrell.
Let's go.
Side out here, Kyle Schwetz, who played at St. Ambrose University. That's too deep. Over on 1. Burrell swinging away. Rose is there. Encarnacion run down by Cunningham and free balled over. Here's Patel, and he tools the block. Oh, I take it back. Was that touched by Patel on the way out? It was? That came back. That was blocked off Patel.
I don't think that ever made it over the net, Ira. Based on my angle.
Noah doesn't think it ever went over the net. I thought Patel got blocked back. I had an optical illusion here courtside. Maybe, Matt, this is
but
a signal we need to stand.
yeah.
Or at least I need to stand so I can be the same height as you.
Well, that.
And that's off of Haskell's shoulder. And a block for New Jersey. Joe Norman missing too long. (9-5) New Jersey, free ball, and that is saved by a sprawling Cunningham. Venegas, but Martin able to elevate and block it down.
Here is Patel, the lefty, with a good jump serve. Passed nicely by Milnazic, but Norman from the back row hammers that ball. Kraken can't control it.
Joe Norman able to knock Hidalgo out of his shoes. And Venegas done a nice job filling in the starting role for Tim Ferreter, who's out this weekend. And/or Ian Cap, depending on who would normally be in that spot. Venegas lays out for the one-handed dig. Here's Milnazic, who's also being thrown in. And Rowdy Martin swinging away. Is he a setter? Is he an attacker?
He does it all. Rowdy Martin's very athletic, one of the most athletic setters in the league, and very, very offensively minded, always looking for the chance to swing at the ball.
Definitely plays with some swagger as well. He's got the hairstyle that backs that up. Venegas on the big, nails it. Burrell serves for New Jersey. Here's Patel, got some ups, takes off for the kill. And that cuts the deficit back to 3-11-8. So every time New Jersey tries to pull away here, Colorado's showing some fight. Showed some fight yesterday. I was mightily impressed coming back from a 14-10 deficit to nearly extend that match. Too long by Joe Norman. A double block. Milnazic shut down by Martin and Kyle Schwetz. And the Kraken looking to draw closer now, down just one. And they tie it up with an ace from Dylan Haskell. New Jersey's going to utilize a timeout here, so we'll take one as well. 11-11, game two, New Jersey on top, 1-0. More to come here from Pierce Sports Center. 11-11 here in game number 2 after the timeout for New Jersey. This is coming our way, and Martin went a long way, just ran out of real estate, and New Jersey with the side out. Hidalgo swinging away, and yet another error. Alvaro Hidalgo has not been, obviously, playing on the bum ankle as consistent as we expect from him based on results this year.
Doesn't look that bum, if you ask me. He's jumping pretty well.
I think it might be more just the blocking presence of the Freedom causing him to kind of change his angle and his thought process in the air.
Well, you get blocked one time, and you'll think about it a little bit, even if you try not to. Everybody tries to have a short memory in this game, but New Jersey, when you got Joe Norman up there, and you got Buffum up there, I mean, Buffum and Burrell are both great blockers. You're always in danger of having it come back in your face. Joe Norman with a bit of a pitching wedge there.
Yeah, he turned it down a little bit, just nice and smooth.
Got to preserve the calories. Probably only burned 7 or 8 there instead of 100. On the back row, that's blocked back by Matt Buffum. And this time, Hidalgo looks pretty healthy to me, folks, as he splits the block with authority. Venegas, and that one is just wide, says our line judge on the Colorado Kraken side of the court. That's Katie Mahoney. Stephen Shepard's our R1 today. Patrick Bradley's our R2. Arena Smith is the official standing near Carlo Edra on the New Jersey side of the court. Marina Barbosa, our official scorer for this one. And all one-on-one, winning the battle was Christian Encarnacion. One-on-one against a much bigger Joe Norman. And Colorado has themselves a 15-14 lead. And this time, Norman able to tool the block, making that adjustment. So Buffum will serve, Burrell will return. Comes over. J.J. Rosa looking to Patel, and he can swing. Raul Patel is an interesting story. We've talked about this on prior broadcasts. Didn't really play in college. He was obviously a high school player, but went and, joined the real world. He was working, playing open gyms.
Got to pay the bills.
Yeah, got to pay. Not everybody's going to get rich playing volleyball. And decided not to play at the next level. And then, you know what, got the itch again with playing in open gyms and continued to get better. And while the Kraken had a tryout and he was discovered, and the rest is history. He has become a part-time starter.
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of open gyms and nobody's going to discover me.
Everyone's discovered you, Ira.
They don't want to discover this. Oh, Patel has discovered a solo stuff. Dan Venegas couldn't get it past him. And that is a 17-16 lead for the Kraken.
Don't sleep on Patel. He's a pretty tricky little sneaky blocker. It's a big swinging arm, double arm lift block move. That's the second one there through this set.
Those are sometimes the most dangerous players, guys who are playing with a chip on their shoulder. Underutilized in his volleyball career and getting a chance to prove himself at this stage. But Venegas gets some retribution there, ties it at 17. Ignacio on the good pass. Swinging from the back row, Hidalgo. I don't think that ever went over.
I don't think so either, and the first official agrees with you, Ira. So good court vision there.
There's Patel, also didn't go over. So back-to-back unforced errors. Colorado puts New Jersey back on top, 19-17. Hey, good news. I found my AirPods. I thought I lost them.
Good news, Ira.
Yeah,
Where were they?
They were in the bottom of my bag.
Oh, those tricky little AirPod canisters. They're so small, right?
Keep losing. The highlight of
So
my
they were
day
with you
here.
the whole time.
It's been here with me the whole time. I could have listened on the flight out. Instead, I sat there and did something unproductive like reading.
Reading?
Yes.
Didn't know you knew how to read.
Yeah, that's something I've picked up later on in life.
They still make books?
That and the ability to, enjoy a fine scotch and also drive, but not at the same time, of course. Definitely not at the same time. And that, oh my goodness gracious, Dan Venegas. What a changeup of a jump serve completely fools the entire Colorado Kraken squad. I can't believe that one. Completely handcuffs the Colorado Kraken, and we will take a timeout here as the Kraken need to discuss. 21-17 New Jersey on top. Back courtside, we're hoping you're watching this match somewhere around the country, maybe with a cold drink in your hands and a sandwich on your plate, as the New Jersey Freedom now have scored 5 in a row here to take a 22-17 lead.
Now the blocking of Team Freedom really stepped up here in the last couple of points.
Matt Gaynor watching this one in the chat, rooting on his Kraken, but they are in jeopardy of falling down 2-0. A free ball, and Tom Burrell with the unleash.
So,
by the way, that last
18
kill was not
20.
by Burrell, it was by Molnazik. I just taken a kill away from Jake, and that's not going to make Noah Chast happy. Oh, and a misconnection there between Haskell and Rowdy Martin. That will draw NJ closer to the finish line here. 24-18 in game 2, and that's not Jake Molnazik, that's Tom Burrell. He's going to serve to close it out.
He is serving now, but I got to have the back of my Tenant Panther teammate and Panther volleyball teammate, always.
Always. You ride and die to the very end. Elias goes to Jacob Molnazik. Karam's off of the ceiling. And a good pass by Patel to save it, extend the play. Free ball comes over on one. And never give Alvaro Hidalgo a second chance.
Well, we really got to take care of that free ball pass that Team Freedom got, and then just decided to hand it right back over to the Kraken.
And And that's going to land on the line. Another set point staved off as Haskell uncorks an ace with the floater.
I thought that ball was out of bounds.
Well, they've already burned one challenge. They do have two to use. I don't know if you necessarily need to with a score like this.
I don't think you do.
So they'll put it in their pocket and live to see another play. Set point number 3. Much better pass. And that is blocked back. Martin and Schwetz. And put your seatbelts on, folks. This is getting interesting now. 24-21. Set point number 4, and this time Joe Norman shuts the door as New Jersey wins game number 2, 25-21. And they lead this match 2 sets to none as they look to journey on for an 8-0 start to the regular season. Much more to come here in San Bernardino. Stay with us. And we're back here courtside, our Thor, Matt Prosser, the coach of the OC Stunners, who are probably New Jersey's biggest threat this year, as New Jersey looks like they will improve to 8-0 on the season. Of course, still one more set to play, but Colorado hasn't been able to find any answers so far for New Jersey. The Kraken, if they lose this match, still very much alive for the postseason, but obviously this would set them back, as it would be their 4th loss in a row. The New Jersey Freedom have 2 matches left in the regular season. July 8th, they will take on Matt Prosser and the OC Stunners. Stunners lost in New Jersey 3-1 the first time around, but did not have a full roster. That could be, if you're looking at the calendar, a potential setback for New Jersey. But if they get through that, they might run the table and go 10-0, because they will close the season on July 10th against the Seattle Sasquatch.
Well, hold on a minute. They got to play our team first.
You don't listen to me when I talk anymore.
I was speaking with our director upstairs so we could get a shot of Coach Edra for you.
Oh, I was complimenting your team about how that's a big threat for New Jersey's unbeaten season.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't think most of America is either.
Well, that'll be a good matchup, though. Freedom Untouchables.
I mean, the Stunners right now are very difficult to try to find a weakness for. Everybody's playing on a high level for the defending champions, and I know you're going to have your squad ready to take on New Jersey for that match on July 8th.
Not Declanson, Carlo Edra. You had it there. Let us know.
As that is put away by Kyle Schwetz. So it's Father's Day 2022. And a lot of our players we talked about are fathers, and so are the coaches. There's Carlo Edra, the head coach for New Jersey Freedom. His team is 7-0. He's a collegiate head coach, 2-time coach of the year at New Jersey City University in New Jersey. But he's also a full-time dad. His wife, Nicole, his daughter, Elle, his son, Colin, might be watching this match back in New Jersey. He has a lot of pride in his family. I was with Carlo when his father passed, and his father really is the reason that Carlo is in this game. Volleyball has been a family game in the Edger family for a long time. Carlo's brother Chris actually played for Carlo at NJCU about a decade ago, so the sport of volleyball is more than just a sport for Carlo and his family. It truly brings generations of his family together, and happy Father's Day, Carlo, and obviously great family you have with Nicole and Elle and Colin, and thanks for spending the weekend out here with us. As we are back to game action, Tom Burrell. I don't know how Rowdy got his blue hair out of the way, but
man, that was a highlight reel in the making. Unfortunately, Team Freedom didn't win that point. The jump, bump, quick set, rarely seen through the middle there, was picked up by Kraken, but they score the point.
Here's Joe Norman. And that was well timed because it was off of the fingertips of Encarnacion and then caught the antenna for a New Jersey kill. Encarnacion missing long. So a quick 6-3 lead for the New Jersey Freedom. A timeout here for the Colorado Kraken. Or no, I take that back. They're going to challenge the play. They believe there was a touch, Matt.
Interesting choice. I don't recall seeing a touch off that one.
I don't recall where I parked my car, but we'll figure it out later. By the way, we were talking about coaches or fathers, but you don't just have to have biological children. A lot of our players are coaches off the court and are father figures to the players that they are coaching.
Yeah, very much so.
Matt Gaynor, I'll give him a shout out. He's not here right now because he is coaching at a tournament in Anaheim. Coaches one of the top club teams in the Rocky Mountain region, and I believe he was talking to me yesterday. I wrote it down so I can't find my note, but he has 4 players that are going on his current team to play in college next year. I believe one was heading to USC, another to Sacred Heart, 2 Division I schools. One was heading to Benedictine in Illinois, which is a top-level Division III program. know there's another program in there I am forgetting. But, you know, a lot of these players are father figures on the court. And a shout out to everybody, whether you have your own kids or you are acting that role as a coach, because it takes a lot of time and dedication.
Yep.
And selflessness.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're looking here at the replay. Is there a touch?
And Ira, I hear from the Freedom side, well, they don't have really a bench right now, but the Freedom team that, you know, there may have been a touch on their side, and they don't really have the best poker faces of a front row right now, so they, but as you're hearing the replay or hearing people watch the replay, maybe the touch they felt is not visible enough on camera, so.
That voice you hear in the background is team manager Erin Glore.
And Erin has her and her Freedom get the call, but she's a self-anointed team humbler of the Team Freedom, pretty much making sure every player on the Freedom knows, you know, that they're great, but there's a lot they need to work on. It kind of keeps them down to earth. So if you hear someone maybe insulting their own teammate, their own player after a great play on the Freedom, that's Erin Glore.
Erin certainly knows how to, you know, make sure there doesn't.
Self-appointed team humbler. I like that new title.
That's a way to humble another team. Tom Burrell shutting down the Kraken with the stuff. It's one reason the block has always been my favorite part of the game of volleyball, because that is how you reach into somebody's chest and pull it out and stomp on it.
Just yank out their hearts with a big stuff down block. One of my favorites as well. Always been a fan, especially.
You've done that so many times in your life, though. I mean, so think about how many souls you have taken, Matt.
A lot more than I ever thought about previously, that's for sure. Thanks, Ira.
Matt was the reaper at the net.
Yeah, that was called a lot of things, but not that.
I'm giving you a retirement nickname here. 7-4 lead for New Jersey. Christian Encarnacion to serve. That one's in a carom 3 times off the ceiling, and that helps Colorado. It slows the ball down, allows them to track it. Another chance for Venegas. This one nearly clips the ceiling again. Good dig by Rosa. Another free ball chance. Elias has to tip it over. That's a little too tight. 4 free balls in a row. That's not a good sign for Colorado. And then Joe Norman, cross-court magic.
Well, you said it, Ira. 4 free balls is definitely not the offense Kraken is looking for, and especially not against a team like New Jersey Freedom.
When a team could communicate and you're sending them free balls, that's a recipe for the Grim Reaper. Gotta stay on theme here. Good pass by Rosa. They go to Hidalgo, and he puts in a dagger.
That's a nice response for sure by Hidalgo.
Taking a look here at Haskell serving. Dylan Haskell out of Oxnard, California. Dug up by Jenkinson, sent over. Another free ball. Elias to Tom Burrell, buries it. Tom can certainly elevate.
He sure can, yeah. And hang in the air. He has this uncanny skill to elevate and then wait in the air for that set to come over to his hitting arm.
It's almost as if he has discovered weightlessness. Talking about the humble job of Erin Glore. She just told Tom Burrell he's fired.
Which with this current bench roster, they can't afford, but I'm sure they'll discuss it internally.
And Joe Norman with the reappointment papers. Yeah, I can't really afford to fire anybody this weekend. You know, there's nobody else to take their job, and you know, it right now it certainly is an employee market. We go to Norman, and Norman just does bad things. How many calories will that burn? Maybe about 60? I'd like a per swing count from that armband he's wearing. Venegas and Elias both get a piece of it to keep it alive. Here's a chance for Colorado to counter. That is blocked back. Double stuff for New Jersey. Molnazic and Buffum. And the Colorado Kraken find themselves in a hole, 12-6 with a 14,000-footer to climb. Timeout here on the court. More to come here from the Pure Sports Center. Back here courtside, Matt Elias has served for this New Jersey squad that looking to go to 8-0 on the year. And that is Toole of the block for another New Jersey point. I take that back. No, I was looking at the ball coming to the table. I thought that was a kill for New Jersey. What match am I watching? That's a
What
point
match
for Colorado.
are you watching, Ira? There's only one happening in front of us.
There's Joe Norman. Rosa, that's going to ping pong off of the HVAC system. Norman, the one rotation out of the outside, and he plants that one as well.
Matt Elias really putting up some nice hittable balls for his big 6'10" opposite to go up and get it, drive the ball over the block and down for the point. Even the digs that do come back up, Matt Elias doing a nice job distributing the offense.
And Coach Dacklison giving his Kraken some tough love during that timeout, telling them if you're upset, then you can go home. You're an athlete and you need to learn to manage your emotions and play through this adversity. So really letting his team know that they can't get down on themselves and frustrated at the amount of missed swings or blocks that the Freedom are getting on them.
You know what? Coach Dacklison's 100% correct.
Totally agree. Completely agree with that statement.
You know, if you're a 14-year-old kid, perhaps, but as a pro, you got to be able to figure it out when things aren't going your way. Yeah, you can grimace like Matt Buffum. He's obviously not pleased that he missed it, but he'll forget it and move on.
Yeah. And one of those big challenges is what goes on between your ears, you know. It's a big part of sports psychology, you know, athletic psychology as well.
Joe Norman over on one, and then Buffum ends it. Free ball city. And then he celebrates like he just won the World Series. I mean, it's a good celebration. It's not a Nick England-like celebration when you solo stuff Felix Chapman.
Haven't seen many other ones like Nick England celebrate.
That's the best celebration I think I've ever called it. And that one's going to land in Bend, Oregon.
Nice heads-up play by Joe Norman to drop his hands as Encarnacion was going for the Toole off the block.
Line drive serve for New Jersey. Jenkinson to open space. Chance here for New Jersey. Venegas waits for it, and Martin can't cover. Kill for Dan Venegas.
Now, the one thing that stands out to me on that play is Joe Norman rolling under the block to pick up that shot. Maybe something that Joe might have not have done earlier in the season, so nice to see him supporting his group there on the defensive side.
And Hidalgo too long, but was there a touch? And that is indeed seen by Stephen Shepard, our lead official for this match, and Marina Smith on the line. So that's a break for Colorado, but still they have a huge amount in the scale now, down 16-10. Norman quickly turns the tables. This is our second of 4 matches today. Again, stay with us at 3 p.m. It'll be the Texas Tyrants. As they look to improve to 7-1 on the year, they'll take on the Seattle Sasquatch, just 1 win in their debut season. And our Encarnacion gets the kill. That's his 7th kill of the day. The Doggo's got 9. He leads Colorado, but Joe Norman has 14. Venegas with a nice effort of 10 kills as well. They've helped carry this team. Tom Burrell, that one's not coming back. Rosa tried to cover, but completely knocked off balance. Tom Burrell is sneaky good.
He is not an intimidating size-wise for a middle blocker, but he can jump, hang, and he's got great range on his attack.
He's a lot of fun to watch play that position. That's left short. 18-12, New Jersey well in front, and something that you and I had talked about, off air is just something that impresses us about this New Jersey squad is they're playing for each other. There are no egos out there.
No.
And right now it's something that's separating them from a lot of teams.
Yeah, very much so. Ira, you make a great point. Team Freedom chasing that common goal, right? You can definitely see it by everyone's just overall attitude, okay, is that they're trying to win a championship this season. And regardless of who's available, who's on the floor, who's on the bench, they're all really showing that they have a strong team dynamic, probably developed because they've trained together so often and for so long, plus obviously from Coach Edra's tutelage as the team coach here. Freedom, they're a handful. They're playing some really good volleyball regardless of who's on the court for them.
And I think they're, in a lot of ways, very similar to your squad. If you look at all the talent that's on the OC Stunners and so many guys that could always be the it guy, who were the best player on their team throughout their lives, as that clips the antenna. And there's a lot of guys on the Stunners who could be, yeah, it's me, give it to me. They don't play that way. Your team plays that way, plays together as well for that common goal. Well, they won a championship last year, and it truly could be anybody on any given day taking that leadership role. I mean, look at somebody like a Matt Hilling, was basically a role player last year, and he's a star on almost any team he's been on.
Right.
So
yeah, it's the team dynamics is a big part of it, especially through a season-long competition. And Team Freedom, and thank you for that compliment. The Stunners are doing a good job as well.
And that is why certain teams will be playing deep into August, and others, well, they may be looking towards 2023 or beyond.
And I'd say the Ramblers are right there too. They have a very good, strong team dynamic that, Coach England, if you want to get a GM of the team, and Vinny Rodriguez have developed with
Absolutely.
their program as well. And you see players coming in to make the team better regardless of what position they have to play. And they have players, Ryan Mather, Brennan Rattray, guys that would be stars on any other team, but playing together and chasing that common goal.
And they look like they're having fun out there too, which is a big part of it. Big time swing from Venegas. That draws Colorado into the net, and that pushes the New Jersey lead to 20-15.
And Matt, if I can ask you a coach question, with a team like your Stunners or the Ramblers in this Freedom, what is, I guess, the mentality or approach you go to it with kind of managing these egos and letting people know, you may be the best guy on another team, but for me, you might come off the bench. You might be the second guy. How do you go about that with those high-end level players?
Well, I think a big part of it is setting the team goal to begin with, right? Make sure that everyone's bought into what the philosophy and goal of the outcome for the season is for that team. And then regardless of who's on the court, knowing that everyone has the abilities to perform regardless of the position or the score or whatever's happening during that match, the players are basically interchangeable, right? And so it really comes down to who's playing better for the team, helping the team out when they kind of get put back into that situation where a change needs to be made, and realizing that it's for the better of the team, not just against an individual because they might not be up to their level that they are expecting of themselves.
What a dig by Venegas after the attack by Encarnacion, but New Jersey can't find the court, misfiring there. And the Kraken hanging around back within 4, 21-17.
And Matt, that's something that I've seen with this Freedom team, just talking to them behind the scenes. I mean, with the different liberos or different outsides showing up events, not showing up other events, they basically, there's no issue. They say, oh, I'm playing this time, he's playing that time.
Yeah.
And I have trust in that guy, I have trust in our coach, and we'll just go out there and we'll win. And there's
Trust.
never been any anger or resentment towards really the playing time.
Yeah, the trust is the key word right there, Noah, for sure, especially when you have groups that have played together as long as, especially Team Freedom has. They've known each other for so long. They're friends off the court. They hang out. They travel together. You know, they stay in the hotels together. So, and then they also scout their competition together. So, yeah, regardless of who's playing in that given moment, they're still wearing the uniform for the team, and they're all still chasing that common team goal.
Again, I've talked about how I've known Coach Edger for close to 20 years. Knew him as a student athlete back in the day, because he's almost 40 years old. But not only is he great on the X's and O's and knows how to prepare his team, but he also knows how to manage, you know, any kind of egos that might come with star athletes. And you don't see that with this bunch, as we talked about. You don't see that with some teams. And yes, winning does indeed cure all ills in most cases. You know, sometimes you do see teams that are great, though, that don't like each other and still find ways to win, but that's not the case with this squad.
A lot of times that happens in other professional sports with star players, and yeah, they might not be friends outside the gym or off the competition court, but that doesn't matter. What happens is, what the most important part is that you do your job for your team when you're in the uniform.
And New Jersey has done its job throughout this third set, 24-18. They have 6 match points as they look to remain perfect. And a 10-foot line violation will seal the deal as New Jersey Freedom win set number 3, 25-18, and need just an hour and 18 minutes to move to 8-0 on the season. They are perfect overall. 25-22, 25-21, and 25-18. Colorado Kraken, after a 2-2 start to the year, they find themselves having now lost 4 in a row. This is, well, for Colorado, just the second time all year that they have been swept. The only other time was against the Tornadoes back on April 9th. Yeah, they're still alive in that American Central and will be playing the last event of the season against the Stingers and the Tornadoes for their playoff lives. But they're going in the wrong direction right now.
A very big uphill battle ahead of them to try to break into that championship weekend playoff format, as yeah, this loss definitely is going to hurt a little bit for them. That was a very quick and dominant performance by Team Freedom. Kraken's got to go back to the drawing board a little bit, especially after last night's 5-gamer. This one just, Team Freedom, just a little too much for the Kraken to handle today.
New Jersey is proven to be one of the best stories of the 2022 NVA season, as they again improved to 8-0 on the year. They'll conclude the regular season July 8th. They'll take on your squad, the OC Stunners, and well, the Stunners will be looking for some redemption as they fell without a full squad back in the first weekend of the season. That's going to be a very tough one to choose based on who is there that day, and then they will conclude the regular season. If they get by you guys, well, face Seattle with a chance to go 10-0. Nobody's ever gone unbeaten through a regular season here in the short history of the NBA.
It'd be fun to see, fun to be a part of.
Well, Dan Venegas has joined the team mid-year and certainly been a bright part of this squad. Today and this entire weekend, he has stepped up to take the spot of guys like Ian Kapp, and certainly shown that he still has a lot in the tank. Dan Venegas, he is our man of the match, and Noah Chast will have a word with him.
Thank you, Ira. One of the newest members of this Freedom team that has a lot of camaraderie, but you come into a short-handed weekend and really step up and lead the offense. How are you able to do it?
Yeah, it's like important teamwork. I am new, but my team is, for me, is the best one here. I'm so happy to be with them. They have a really good atmosphere inside the team, so I am happy that I match with them. Just looking forward for the championship.
And what have you learned about this team since you've joined, and especially this weekend?
Yeah, No, the first time was last weekend, last event, but I just started looking at team here. I send message for all the teams. After I keep in contact with Justin, and now I'm here. That was like that.
And what do you think? I mean, you the only undefeated team left in the league. How strong are these teams' chances to really take home the NVA Cup?
Yeah, we have a lot of chance, but the problem is the pressure now for us. We need to keep that for the last event and for the championship. It doesn't matter if you are undefeated for all the games, but you lose semifinals or you lose the finals. So everything that you are done, it's like go to the trust.
Still have business to take care of.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it is Father's Day. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to on this Father's Day Sunday?
Of course, a mi papá, gracias por el apoyo. Feliz Día del Padre. Thank you so much.
Gracias. Thank you so much.
That's it.
We'll send it back to Matt and Ira over at the booth.
Thank you, Noah, and thank you to Dan Venegas. Again, his second weekend playing for the New Jersey Freedom, joining the squad mid-year, and he is our man of the match. And always great when you can give some Father's Day shout-outs and greetings. And we look at the numbers here for this one. And Joe Norman finished with 15 kills. He continues to roll, only at 3 errors, hit 56%. But Dan Venegas, again, without Ian Cap, without Tim Ferreter, without Matt Seifert, he just had a great effort. 11 kills, 4 errors, hit 55%, passed at a 64% rate, and just a lot of contributions. Tom Burrell had 6 kills himself, along with 4 blocks. Something else I want to point out, John Cunningham, we weren't even sure if he was going to be able to get through this entire match. Not only get through this entire match, passed at a 78% rate, only got ace once.
That's a pretty good rate.
Talk about gutting it out.
Yeah,
John Cunningham
certainly
did today. So it is Father's Day. We didn't get to have our pregame show due to technical difficulties. So, you and I, both are the two dads on this NVA broadcast crew. Chance for you to give a shout out to anyone you'd like before we sign off, and then I'll follow you up.
I mean, obviously my dad Ken, he's out in Orlando where he lives now with Sherry, and so Dad, I love you. Thanks for everything you've always done for me, and looking forward to some more adventures with you coming up in the very near future once this season concludes. And then to my boys Nolan and Wells, 6 and 8, keep doing what you're doing. I'm super proud to be your guys' dad, and I love you both very much.
Shout out to my father, Hillary, watching this down in Southern Virginia. He's probably out on the jet ski today or on the boat in Lake Gaston enjoying life. But one day we'll get to do those kind of things. Maybe not in Virginia, but somewhere in this great country. But I appreciate all the lessons I've learned from my dad over the years. Love you, Dad, and hopefully you tuned in a little bit. I sent you the link, and no, you're not the best with this technology stuff, but hopefully you got to tune in. I appreciate you and love you. And to my kids, I have 3. I am the leader in the clubhouse, I guess, here. My son, Gavin, is a freshman at Seton Hall right now, 19 years old, which is crazy. I don't know how I'm this old. My daughter, Kendra, is up-and-coming, one of the nice up-and-coming players in Monmouth County volleyball, freshman in high school. And my daughter, Julia, just 8 years old. She is starting to actually pass at 8 with my daughter, Kendra. So
watch out.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have a third one in the family. And, of course, my wife, Catherine, who allows me to come out here and help bring you professional volleyball. It's a commitment, obviously, for all of us to be out here. We take time away from our families because we care about the sport, we care about this league, and want to see it grow. And we're happy to be able to be here and bring you great professional volleyball on Father's Day weekend 2022. The best job I've ever had in my life, and I've had a pretty cool career, but nothing will ever measure with being a father, and I'm thankful for that every day. So for my partner, Matt Prosser, and Noah Chast on the sideline, and Nick England, he's toiling upstairs. He'll be with us for our next match, which will be coming up at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern, and it is the Texas Tyrants looking to move to 7-1 on the year. They will take on the Seattle Sasquatch. We hope you will rejoin us for that one. I'm Ira Thor. Until we talk to you then, be well, everybody.